At this time, I'll call the first meeting of 2023, the first meeting of the new administration of the Cumberland County Fiscal Court to order. What I'd like to do to begin our proceedings is to ask Mr. Raymond Costello to lead us in a word of prayer.
Let us pray. Dear Father God, thank you for your bountiful blessings and providence in our lives. That you have led us to this county to live in for your family's sake. We thank you for this meeting that we're in. I realize that I don't fully understand all the things that these men and women will be doing, but I am going to ask you, Lord, to bless them. I'm going to ask you to give them the type of wisdom that will allow them to see truth, practical and creative answers to the needs of both our county and our city. I'm going to ask you to help them as they serve this community to do their best to bring peace, prosperity, to bring beauty, and to bring unity in the community. I pray that they will develop a like care, not only for the people of Cumberland County, but for each other as they do their work. And may you bless their efforts with wonderful results. Please forgive us of our transgressions in your sight and continue with us. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Thank you very much, Randy. At this time, I would ask that everyone please stand and direct your attention to the flag and the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I'll call the roll. This will also serve as a night check for our court. District 1 Magistrate Ron Ray. Here. District 2 Magistrate Lane Cope.
Here.
District 3 Magistrate Larry Anderson.
Here.
District 4 Magistrate Jeff Cyphers.
Here.
County Attorney Coleman Hurt.
Here.
Thank you very much to all the members of the court. I'd like to, before we dive into anything that requires a motion, let's cover a little bit of the ground rules. So what we will be doing moving forward with any item of business that requires a motion, a second, and a vote. We'll be using what's called Robert's Rules of Order. So the way that will work, if something comes up that needs a motion, we will, if we wish to put it in the form of a motion, a member of the court will say, Judge, I move that we blank. For example, first item of business that will require a motion is the adoption of the minutes from the last meeting. Judge, I move that we accept the minutes as written. That will require a second. If we get that, that moves on to a vote. The way that we will handle all of these motions is to say, I move. That's pushing us in the right direction of Robert's Rules of Order. If someone covers, and we've got this on the agenda tonight, if someone covers a resolution or an ordinance, and then the chair asks, would anyone like to put that forward in the form of a motion? If a member of the court says, so moved, Judge, that's their way of saying, yes, I make the motion, I move that we fill in the blank. So if you hear some of that terminology, that's what that is. So at this time, all of the members of the court have had an opportunity to review the minutes in your packet. We have two sets of minutes. We have one from the special call meeting. We have one from the regular meeting in December. We will have two different motions. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the regularly scheduled meeting minutes from the earlier part of December. Do I hear a motion to that effect?
Motion.
So moved by Jeff. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Larry. The motion's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion passes. I'll now entertain a motion on the special called meeting minutes held December the 22nd, 2022 at 8 a.m. at the courtroom. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
So moved by Magistrate of the 3rd District, Larry Anderson. Is there a second? Second by the Magistrate of the 2nd District, Lane Cope. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, say no. Motion passes. So that's the way that we'll handle motions moving forward, anything that needs attention such as that. We'll now move into under section 1, letter E, departmental reports, public official reports. I'd like to start with the county court clerk, Mr. Morgan.
Thank you, Judge. Court.
And if you would, turn the mic on there. When you finish with it, you can turn it back off.
Okay. Don't have a lot to report. We are transitioning smoothly. We are integrating a new software system that's been mandated through Senate Bill 135 to take effect June 2023. I actually met with the company today, and we are moving forward with that pretty rapidly. We'll update you at the next meeting on where we are progressing there. We will have new hours of business beginning February 1st, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, every Saturday, 8 to 12.
Great.
So,
Very good. Appreciate that, Mr. Clerk. Does any member of the court have any questions for the clerk? Thank you very much. Mr. Sheriff, Keith Williams. And if you would, I don't know how it will sound on the phone, so you may want to pick up the mic. Let's see if that picks it up any better. If you'll
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, pick it up. Hold the right button.
This good right here.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Just have a couple things to report. First of all, I'm very proud of the sheriff's office that we have. From the people who are staying here with me to the people I brought in, I'm very proud of all of them. There is one thing I'd like to report, and this involves a situation that the sheriff's office has been working on in the Dewberry and the Maribone area. I've sent the information to Mr. Cyphers there, but I'll give you just a quick brief of what's been going on. I won't say no names or anything like that. I think it was the second day, I want to think it was Tuesday of last week, I received a message from a concerned citizen in the Dewberry area of an individual who was carrying a gas can going door to door, knocking on doors asking for money and looking in the window. So rightfully so, that caused a lot of concern. So the sheriff's office, our deputies, to include myself, Deputy Stevie Wheat and Lance Watson, we tried to make as great a presence over there as we could. And I think it was real successful in that. But what I'm really proud of in that aspect is we relayed information that we found out to some of the community members over there. And within, I would say, a day and a half time, because of the community over there, we was able to learn who this individual was. We was able to learn exactly where he lives at. We was able to obtain a criminal history of him, the 2 vehicles that he operates and some of his family. So we was able to get a lot of information. And with us going to different businesses and sharing this information to different people in the community over there, we was able to take a good proactive approach to the situation. Now, it didn't lead to anybody getting charged. It didn't lead to anybody being arrested, but that's not always the case. That's not always the best option, is to put somebody in jail. So I'm very proud of what we've done. I'm very proud of the community involvement, because that's what it's all about, is the community-oriented policing. But I'm very proud of that, very proud of our sheriff's office, and at this time, it's all I have to report, and I really appreciate you all.
Thank you very much, Sheriff. Any questions for the Sheriff? Thank you very much. Mr. Jailer, Thomas J. Brown.
Thomas J. Brown, Cumberland County Jailer. I want to welcome the new ones. I know they'll all do a good job, and it's a very tough job. It's a lot easier to sit back here than it is to sit up there, I can tell you that. But anyway, of December, we had 22 runs. Got 18 to Adair, 2 to Barron, 1 to Madison County, and 1 to Whitley County, for a total of 1,539 miles. 1,539 miles. As the first day of the month, we had 18 inmates in Adair County. As of today, we have 18. during the month of December, we had 12 on home incarceration for a total of 293 days, saving the county approximately $8,790 in jail bill. That's
Any questions for the jailer? Thank you very much.
okay. Thank y'all. If we can just hold it right there, the number's good. We can just keep it there. Everything's going good.
EM Director, Mr. Greg Carey. Nothing at this time. Mr. Junior Smith, ABC Officer.
James Smith Jr., Cumberland County, ABC. For the month of November, alcohol sales, $561.41. Year to date, $1,589,517.95. Regulatory fees for November, we collected $3,756.61. Year to date, we're at $78,288.99. Of course, February is our month for all of our licensing to be renewed. I've already sent all the bills out. I've got all the licenses ready. When they pay their fees, I'm ready to give them their new license for 23.
Great. Any questions for the ABC Officer? Thank you very much, sir. County Coroner, Mr. Gary White.
I've got none this time, Judge.
Thank you very much. PBA, Ms. Gina Shea Watson.
Hello, everybody. Welcome everybody for your new job. I know you're going to do just fine. I just want to let everybody know that this is their year for reassessments. It's not anything anybody wants to hear about, but it has to happen. At least once every 4 years, I have to look at every piece of property in the county, and that's this year. So, of course, with the rising cost of the prices, everything's selling so high, there will be increases in a lot of assessments this year. So I just want, if somebody's asking why you're seeing a car driving slow in your district or whatever, you can let them know that we do have our name on our vehicle. On each side, the name, letting them know who it is and what it is, and if we see anybody, we answer questions then. But even I get calls at my office wanting to know what they're doing, so we'll be doing that for at least 3 months, depending on the weather, could go into 4 months. But that's pretty much keeping us busy right now with only 3 people and 2 has to be out at the same time, so we're doing the best we can. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions for the PBA? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will mention that our county road supervisor, Mr. Ricky Mellon, he is out with FEMA right now doing a lot of site inspections. He's sorry that he couldn't be with us today, but he is out working on those site inspections, which naturally takes priority to try to get quite a bit of that money back to the county, so we appreciate that. This time I'll recognize the City of Burkesville Mayor, Mayor Irby.
Thank you for the invitation. Look forward to working with everyone.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. I'd also like to mention, because now is an excellent opportunity to do so with the recent work on all of the snowy and icy roads, if the members of the county road crew that are here, if you would stand and be recognized, please. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Many people don't realize that when we're sleeping comfortably in our beds and warm homes, they're out trying to make sure that this morning at 4 a.m. we can make it to work. So appreciate what you all do, and please continue to be safe out there. At this time, I will make one more recognition before moving into old business, and that is we have with us today recently former magistrate of the court, Mr. J.V. Gross. J.V., thank you for being here. Appreciate your many years of service, and then coming back, just couldn't get enough of it. So thanks for being here with us tonight. We
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Judge, for the invitation. I'll drop in here without any got saved.
Very good. Moving into old business. The only item on old business, letter A, tornado shelter update. As you may know, we have two sites, one at Salem Park, one over near the Maribel Volunteer Fire Department, for proposed tornado shelters. The EM director and I were on a call this previous week, making sure that we had all of our reports submitted in a timely fashion. We're also continuing to work with the engineering firm to see what we can do to get that bid to be as cost-effective as possible on the construction. At this time, we don't have anything further to report, but as we do, you will know it. Does any member of the court know of any further old business which should properly come before the meeting? Hearing none, moving into new business. New business, letter A. This will require a motion in a second. If you would, members of the court, if you will flip over to where you find the page labeled cash transfers. What this is the actual approval, movement of cash. So we have at this time, cash transfer from the general fund to the jail fund in the amount of $30,000. Do I hear a motion to that effect?
Motion.
Properly moved by magistrate of the first district. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by magistrate of the third district. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Moving into budget transfers. Budget transfers, unlike cash transfers, is not the actual transfer of money that is on paper reflecting what it needs to be. If we ran out of that money on paper on the budget, we need to show that we're keeping up with it. So this is a budget transfer. You have in your packet immediately following the cash transfers, your budget transfers. Do I hear a motion to approve these?
So moved.
Thank you very much. Motion from the third district. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from the fourth district. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Now moving into letter C, Cumberland County Court Clerk Budget. I'll ask that the clerk come up to the front. Magistrates, if you would, refer to the budget in your packet. You should see on legal size paper a copy of that budget. Mr. Clerk, would you like to, prior to us voting, mention anything in your budget?
There's not a whole lot of change. If so be, once we get our software integration taken care of, then I will bring that before the court for an amendment.
Very good. Does any member of the court have any questions for the clerk regarding the budget? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
So moved by Jeff. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by magistrate of the first district. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion passes. This time, we'll ask the clerk to report or share any relevant information with the annual order setting the maximum amount for deputies and assistants.
Basically, Judge, that is the maximum combined salary for deputies and full-time employees, including any salary, money, overtime, sick days, vacation time, and any benefits that come.
Very good. And each one of you should have that in your packet for reference. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve that. So moved by the second district. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the member from the third district. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Clark. Appreciate it. This time, I'll entertain a representative or the sheriff for letter D, Cumberland County Sheriff's Tax Sale.
This is the previous sheriff, Scott Daniels, the settlement of what
If
tax?
you would, Sarah, use my
How many do you use the microphone?
Thank you very much.
Okay, this is the previous sheriff, Scott Daniels, tax settlement for taxes that we collected from July 1st, 2022 until December 31st. It includes real estate, oil, and franchise taxes. The total amount we collected was $2,842,762.94, which is 89.68% of total taxes for the tax cycle. After all distributions, all exonerations, all Delinquents, it was 2 cents off, so, I mean, that's anything under a dollar is considered perfect, so
Well done.
2 cents is good, I'm proud of that.
Very good. Any questions regarding the Cumberland County Sheriff's tax settlement? At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
So moved by the member from the first district. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the member from the second district. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you very much, Sarah. This time, we'll move into letter E under section 3, new business. This is the warrant section. The word warrant has a bit of a different definition to different people, but for our purposes, keep in mind that would be the equivalent of some type of financial obligation or bill that we have, an invoice that was submitted. We do have tonight an addition to those warrants. It is a $5,000 addition. This will be made payable to the Kentucky State Treasurer for a CDBG, that's a Community Development Block Grant, Utility Assistance Grant. So that's the only addition. Otherwise, all of those other invoices, those numbers that you see on there are the same, and we'll need a motion to approve. Do I hear a motion from the court?
So moved, Judge.
So moved by a member of the third district. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by a member from the fourth district. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion passes. At this time, if you would, refer in your packets to the page labeled occupational tax refunds. This will require a motion and a second. This would be the occupational tax remitted to the county in excess of the current cap. We need a motion. Is there a motion from the court?
Motion.
So moved by the member from the fourth district. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the member of the first district. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion passes. We'll now move to letter G under section 3, leadership update. If you would, all the members of the court as well as the members of the general audience, if you would refer to the supplemental handout that you got with your agenda when you came in, you'll see at the top of it, our mission, down below that, values, core expectations. Since this is the start of a new administration, I think it's only fair to let everybody know where we stand up front, that way you'll know not only what to expect from us over the course of the next 4 years, but also where our priorities are. So, not to belabor a point, but if you would, I'd like to share our mission to provide high-quality public services in a fair, effective, respectful, efficient, and financially sustainable manner. If it doesn't do that, we probably have no business doing it. So over the course of the next 4 years, that will be day in, day out, what we as a Cumberland County team are focused on. Our values that were mentioned there in the mission statement: fairness, effectiveness, respectfulness, efficiency, and financial stability. Every action that we take or every action that we do not take will be as a direct result of those values. If you would, I'm not going to read the backside of that, but if you flip that over and look at that, this is what I want. I'm asking you to hold me accountable and our administration accountable over the course of the next 4 years. Those goalposts on the backside of that handout, that's what I hope that any of you in this room, the local media, regional media, or national media, could report fairly on. If they looked at us 4 years from now, I hope that they would be able to say what we have written there. So, over the course of the next 4 years, if you think that we're doing something that runs counter to any portion of that, please bring that to our attention so that we can adjust course. Any questions regarding the leadership update? Hearing none, we'll now proceed into the nominations. As I call your name, if you would, I would ask that you stand up so that the members of the court can see who I am referencing, who I am nominating for each of these positions. We will begin with our road supervisor position. I am nominating before the court Mr. Ricky Melton, who is the current road supervisor. I would like to reappoint him pending court approval. What I will do, I'll continue through the list of those names that I wish for the court to consider for appointment. At the end of that list, I'll entertain a motion from a member of the court to accept the slate. That will require a second and then a majority vote. Second name for reappointment, EM Director, Mr. Greg Carey. If you would please stand and be recognized. Greg's been with us for quite some time now. We appreciate the work that you do. I have the utmost confidence in you. Appreciate your willingness to stay on if reappointed. Mr. Junior Smith, ABC Officer. Junior has also graciously agreed to help serve with his many years of law enforcement background, the sheriff as a school resource officer for the interim period. We appreciate your willingness to help Keaton the same way that you're willing to help us. Thank you very much, Mr. Smith.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Brian O'Connor, who couldn't be with us tonight, is under the weather, Animal Control Officer. I'm nominating him for that position. Mr. Miller Willis and Stevie Garman, if you would please stand. They are our current road viewers. I am recommending that we reappoint both of those gentlemen. Mr. Ricky White, our road viewer alternate, recommending that we reappoint him as well. Final position, solid waste coordinator. We have, over the course of the next few months, from now until October, a great deal of work that must be done if we are to receive our FEMA reimbursement. As a result, we will be transferring our full-time solid waste coordinator, the previous occupant of solid waste coordinator, Mr. Jerry Lynn Wheat, to be full-time boots on the ground help with that FEMA work with the road crew. So he will be transferring to the road crew, no other change other than the transfer of the department. And then I am bringing before the court tonight a nomination of Mr. Jefferson Abney, a recent graduate of Western Kentucky University, degree in political science, and currently pursuing his master's in public administration, for a part-time position, 20 hours per week, $12 per hour for that solid waste coordinator position, doing a lot of those grant applications to ensure that we have all of that and those resources available for the county. At this time, I will entertain a motion from the court to approve the slate as presented.
So moved.
So moved by the magistrate of the 2nd District. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the magistrate of the 3rd District. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion passes. Congratulations to all those, and thank you very much for your willingness to serve your community. At this time, we'll move into bond approvals. We have, as a matter of doing business, a requirement that folks handling money representing the county need to be bonded. This doesn't have to be individual motions, but I will quickly cover a list of those folks who are bonded. We will then need a motion that we approve these bonds and a second and a vote on that. The fiscal court clerk, the jailer, transportation officers, coroner, constables, deputy sheriff, deputy county clerks, the tax administrator, the deputy transportation officers, Mr. Bill Norris, the 911 board treasurer, the deputy coroners, ABC officer, coordinator, and the county judge executive. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to accept and approve all of those bonds.
Motion.
Motion has been properly moved by magistrate from the 1st District. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by magistrate from the 3rd District. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion passes. This time we'll move to letter J under section 3. We have a resolution. I will read the resolution. The way that a resolution differs from an ordinance, a resolution only requires one reading, a motion, a second, and then a majority vote in order to be adopted. Resolution of the Cumberland County Fiscal Court, Resolution 2023-001. Whereas the Cumberland County Library District is established within Cumberland County, and whereas the Cumberland County Judge Executive, with approval of the Cumberland County Fiscal Court, appoints Library District Board members. And whereas the 2022 General Assembly amended KRS Chapter 173 to create a Library District Board member alternative appointment process that may be implemented by fiscal courts through passage of a resolution. Now therefore be it resolved by the Fiscal Court of Cumberland County, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Cumberland County Library District appointments shall be made in accordance with the alternative appointment process detailed within KRS 173.490 from this date of passage until the alternative appointment process is repealed via passage of a subsequent resolution. Do I hear a motion to adopt?
So moved, Judge.
So moved by magistrate from the 3rd District. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by magistrate from the 2nd District. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Resolution passes. We'll now move into letter K under section 3, proposed ordinance concerning acceptance of county roads in the county road system. Same rules apply to this. I'll read this. The only difference will be that on this particular piece before the court, it requires a second reading. Today will be considered the first reading. We do not need any type of a motion today. This just serves as notice of the ordinance presented. At the second meeting, we will need a motion, a second, and then a vote. Ordinance number 2023-001, Cumberland County Fiscal Court. An ordinance established by the Cumberland County Fiscal Court regulating the acceptance of roads into the county road system so as to implement more specific provisions for road inspection and acceptance. Whereas Cumberland County, Kentucky has established a road system pursuant to the Constitution of Kentucky and the Kentucky Revised Statutes, Chapter 178. And whereas Cumberland County, Kentucky established a system for accepting roads into the system so that the citizens of Cumberland County, Kentucky shall be advised as to the minimum requirements for acceptance of a road into the county system, and so that the citizenry shall be provided equal treatment in the acceptance of roads in the county system. And now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court, Cumberland County, Kentucky, that this ordinance shall be known as the County Road Acceptance Ordinance. Section 1, acceptance of new roads into the county road system. Letter A, no road shall be accepted into the county system following the effective date of this ordinance unless each of the following conditions are met. Number 1, a survey description and plat must be presented to the Cumberland County Fiscal Court and signed by a surveyor licensed as such by the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and which depicts the proposed road and establishes a right-of-way not less than 20 feet in width from the center of the proposed road. Number 2, if the county does not already own a right-of-way of 20 feet or more from the center of the proposed roadway, all property owners whose property fronts on said roadway shall present to the Cumberland County Fiscal Court a deed conveying in fee simple by general warranty deed so much of their property as is necessary to establish said right-of-way. Number 3, any petitioner or grantors for a proposed adoption of a particular road as a county road must bear the expense of survey cost and deed preparation in addition to the site work necessary to meet these requirements of this section. Number 4, the proposed county road shall not be less than 14 feet in width. Number 5, the proposed county road must be ditched and tiled. Number 6, any driveway accessing the proposed road shall be tiled and subject to approval of the county road supervisor and the district's magistrate. Number 7, no road shall be accepted into the county road system if it serves fewer than 2 landowners. Number 8, a compacted base rock foundation of 4 inches or more, plus a minimum of 2 inches of blacktop, must be applied to any proposed road prior to adoption. Please flip over if you would to the back side. Number 9, all newly proposed county roads must be inspected by the county road supervisor and the district's magistrate, and a form filed with the fiscal court from the county road viewers and or county road supervisor. Section 2, fiscal court discretion. Although no county road shall be accepted into the county road system unless it meets the specifications set out herein, the decision to upgrade or accept a road into the system shall be within the sole and exclusive discretion of the Cumberland County Fiscal Court, acting in the best interest of the county and its citizenry, and it shall not be compelled to accept any roadway into the system unless it chooses to do so, irrespective of anything within this ordinance to the contrary. Section 3, exceptions for existing and pending petitions. Any petition with the Cumberland County Fiscal Court is excluded from this ordinance for a period of no more than 6 months from the date of acceptance of this ordinance. But those petitions must still comply with the county road system requirement that were in effect at the time of said petition was originally submitted. After 6 months, any pending petition must comply with the requirements set forth in this ordinance. Section 4. Provisions of this ordinance are severable, and if any provision or part thereof shall be held invalid or unconstitutional or inapplicable to any person or circumstance, such invalidity, unconstitutionality, or inapplicability shall not affect or impair the remaining provisions of this ordinance. With the exception of existing and pending petitions identified in Section 3, this ordinance shall become effective upon second reading and adoption. Again, as a notification to the court, this does not require any action today other than what we just gave it in its first reading. We will entertain any discussion if you have any. Otherwise, we will plan to review this at its second reading at the next meeting. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'd like to, at this time, just so the public is aware, since it does specifically mention the pending applications having an additional 6 months, I want it to be made known what we have on our list of pending applications. If you believe that your road is pending and you do not hear it called, please bring that to our attention prior to the next meeting, because again, if approved, the ordinance would take effect at that next meeting. I have pending applications, pending paperwork on Seminary Cemetery Road, Martha James Way, Willie May Way, James Junction, Dripping Springs Road, Lake Village Drive, Sharp Point Road, unnamed road, Riverside Drive in the 4th District, and an access road off of Highway 90 over in the 4th District. Mr. County Attorney, do you have any other roads in process that need to be added to that list?
Those are the ones of which I'm aware, Judge.
Thank you very much, sir. At this time, we'll move down to letter L under Section 3, New Business. This is to serve as notice for all the members of the court. You will be receiving your copy of the Kentucky Open Records Laws and Open Meetings Laws. Please keep that as a reference over the course of the next 4 years. And all of those subsidiaries of the county, whether that's community organizations or committees, commissions, will also receive a copy of that. So as you members of the court are in communication with them, please let them know to expect that. At this time, does any member of the court know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this meeting?
I don't have anything, Judge.
District 2, District 3, District 4.
I'm good.
Hearing none, I'll now entertain a motion to adjourn. Our next meeting, our next regularly scheduled meeting is set for February the 13th at 4 p.m. Central Time. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
So moved by magistrate from the 4th District. Is there a second? Seconded by magistrate from the 1st District. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Thank you all very much for being here.